But if the police decide to issue me with a fixed penalty notice, I would, of course, do the right thing and step down.
Keir Starmer found himself in a very difficult situation. Calls for his resignation are getting louder, and the patience of society is at its limit. More than 1 million people have united in a powerful demand for change, and this puts his leadership on the brink of disaster. Could this be the last chord in Starmer's career? Stay tuned to learn about the mounting pressure that threatens his leadership. This is the time of decisive changes.
Where have I started? A little bit unsure, to be honest. But I'd like to think I'll give people the voice that they've to express what they feel at the moment. So
is it because you picked it up from the men and women in your pub? Where did you get the idea from? What did you tap into, this level of dissatisfaction?
Not just people within the pub industry, just small businesses in general. Was extremely concerned about the way that the budget was rolled out, about the way it was lied to for them to get into power. And it was a bit of a collective, really, of opinions, thinking, do you know what? Why should we sit back and take it? Why should we sit back and be lied to? So let's see how we can change.
What started as a modest petition calling for new elections has now grown into a powerful nationwide movement that cannot be ignored. More than 1 million signatures were collected in record time. A petition demanding an immediate general election has attracted more than 1 million votes amid growing anger over Labour's tax policy. In it, published by the owner of the pub, it is openly stated that Keir Starmer betrayed his promises. Senior representatives of the Conservative Party called these figures a real expression of rage at the lies and deception on the part of Labour. This discontent did not arise from scratch, it was the result of years of disillusionment with politics.
Are you really hopeful we'll have another general election, Michael? Let's be candid with each other.
You've got to be realistic, it's not going to happen. What man would sit there and debate his own job? I know I would like to do it myself. But at the same time, if you've lied to get into power, why shouldn't you be held responsible? Why shouldn't you be held to account?
For someone in the industry that you're in, the pub trade or hospitality more broadly, what does it mean, Michael?
Tough times ahead, to be truthful. The headlines coming out of the budget was, look what we've done for the pubs, we're taking a penny off a pint. Realistically, we're putting 25p on a pint next year because of the minimum wage increase, which I understand has to happen. People have got to be able to earn enough money to put food on the table. But at the same time, to then hammer small businesses as well on top of that, it's doomsday for us, really.
A petition is not just a document, it is a powerful symbol of the awakening of a nation that is resolutely ready to declare itself and its future. But what made this petition so popular right now? The answers lie in the deep economic difficulties, political mistakes and social problems that have plagued the UK over the past few years. People will always crave new elections, and haven't we seen this before? The 2015 elections did not bring any changes. The 2017 elections also did not solve the pressing problems. And the 2019 elections led to a disastrous government, and now the people are looking with discontent at the government of 2024. When this petition first appeared, few could have imagined the powerful impact it would have. Like many other initiatives, it began as a simple digital document with a clear statement the country needs to change course. But in just a few weeks, the petition began to gain incredible popularity, breaking the mark of more than 1 million signatures. This is a really amazing result. People are tired of inaction and are now ready to fight for their rights and the future.
But can I ask who you voted for at the last general election?
I've said this previously, I voted Conservative because it was better the devil you know. Until I didn't see the point in voting elsewhere until somebody come up with a better plan. I didn't think Labour was putting out a better plan or reform at the time, or anybody else for that matter. So I thought, you know what, let's stick with who we've got until somebody can come up with something better.
But hand on heart, with a pint of ginger in your other hand at the Wagon and Horses pub, can you honestly say the Conservatives did a good job, Michael? Come on.
No, they didn't do a good job. But at the same time, did they do a terrible job? No. Starmer's been in for 5 months and he's doing a terrible job. So it has got worse and it will get worse.
For many, this was the first decisive step in the fight against a policy that, in their opinion, is leading the country down a dangerous and erroneous path. At the heart of this public discontent is a deep sense of betrayal and disappointment. The government seems to be rolling from one disaster to another, and I'm not sure what awaits us this week. When Keir Starmer first came to prominence, he promised a new era of leadership that would solve Britain's pressing problems and restore trust in public administration. However, as time passed, these promises began to sound more empty and lifeless.
And just on to Gray, on her position, Casement, has apparently been causing divisions. Can you offer some clarity on that?
Yeah, that's complete nonsense.
Nonsense. Absolutely no divisions being caused by Sue Gray. Why have you fired her then? I can't say. Let's move on, because surely he's got something more to say about cronyism.
We will restore standards in public life with a total crackdown on cronyism. Seriously, if politicians think they can carry on like this on my watch, they can forget it.
32,000 quid for some suits and some glasses. Yeah, all right then. Next one. Keir Starmer on the rules.
It's very important to me that the rules are followed. I've always said that. I said that before the election. I've reinforced it after the election.
People hoped that Starmer's leadership would bring stability and a clear vision of the future, but the reality turned out to be cruel. During his tenure, the UK faced serious challenges, and from tax increases to growing discontent in rural communities, government actions often seemed disconnected from the real needs of ordinary citizens.
Party for government. We have prepared all of our departments for government. If we are privileged to come in to serve our country, it will be public service for me, as it always has been, not self-entitlement.
Public service, not self-entitlement. Really? We'll be the judge of that. And finally, the pièce de résistance. On a very, very serious matter, I'm afraid, he managed to make this blunder.
So I call again for restraint and de-escalation at the border between Lebanon and Israel. Again, all parties to pull back from the brink. I call again for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, the return of the sausages, the hostages.
I just can't explain that. I mean, I've been talking to people all week about this.
People are beginning to seriously doubt whether Starmer's leadership really puts political views above real decisions that are so necessary for our society. One of the hottest and most controversial topics causing violent discontent among the population is migration. The UK has long been a safe haven for those seeking a better life, but many are concerned that the current government has allowed an uncontrolled increase in immigration levels. This has created enormous pressure on such vital areas as healthcare, housing and education. They have demonstrated complete incompetence. There doesn't seem to be anyone in the cabinet and government who really knows what they're doing. Citizens who find it difficult to access basic resources begin to feel that their needs are being sidelined in favor of newcomers. This has created an explosive atmosphere in which the government is heavily criticized for failing to find a balance between accepting migrants and protecting the interests of its own citizens.
Like with Sir Michael Caine sharing your petition.
I'd like to sit and have a pint with him, to be honest, if he's ever around. But but this is great. This is the whole point I wanted to do, is to create the debate. Obviously, it's not going to get into Parliament. They're not going to discuss it. They're going to run away from this. So, but this has created a storm where people are showing how dissatisfied they are with what's going on at the moment.
So lastly, you're a realistic bloke, I can tell that. You want this to be a warning shot, effectively a call to arms for the government to listen to what regular folk are saying, Michael. Yeah,
definitely. And longer term, if the system's broken, if Starmer sits there yesterday and says this is not how our country works, well, should we sit up and think, well, why doesn't it work? Why shouldn't we listen to the people? Maybe if the system's broken, we should sit and look at fixing it, maybe, rather than just burying head in the sand and carrying on with what's always been done.
There are already alarming rumors on the internet that even more serious problems lie ahead. In any case, very few people are ready to give their vote to this person again. If he doesn't act more carefully, his political career may be in jeopardy by Christmas. The growing tax burden has become another painful topic for society, and this causes real rage. Over the past few years, taxes have been steadily rising, hitting both ordinary citizens and businesses. From increasing income tax rates to skyrocketing corporate taxes, many feel that the government is squeezing every last drop out of the population without offering anything in return. This financial strain is becoming unbearable amid the ongoing cost of living crisis. Food prices are skyrocketing, energy bills are skyrocketing, and housing costs are pushing many families to the brink of poverty. People just can't take it anymore. What do you think about this video? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you.